As hello, everyone, and this is just going to be a little update of my thoughts on TEW 2020 and the plans for the channel going forward, as you could tell from the title of the video. As this is obviously the day where it was supposed to be happening. The initial release of TEW 2020 is supposed to be the day. Obviously, that quickly changed, at least like within 48 hours, maybe, of the release of the beta. Literally every day since the betas came out, there's been a patch for the upgrade of the beta, which is fine. Obviously, the big thing, I think, as far as people hating TEW 2020, because a lot of people did at the start, the biggest thing was the scroll gimmick, where you couldn't scroll, but now that was easily fixed, because there was right when the patch happened, the first beta happened, you could click it to where you could make sure you could actually scroll and use the arrow keys and type and whatnot, but sometimes it wouldn't work, but they fixed that, so that was really the biggest what the fuck thing from the beta for me, as far as things I didn't like. Things I like, though, there are positives, like anything, positives and negatives. I just want to say, real quick, though, at the interface, as you can see, this is kind of what we'll be talking about later. You're like, what the fuck is this? We'll get to that later, but the interface, as a lot of people probably this is such a huge new, interface. What the fuck's going on? What is this? What is that? Very overwhelming, which I can understand. The thing for me is, we're just gonna hit the notepad and look back at this. This is WMMA 5, as you all know, as this is kind of the same there's so many buttons thrown at you. There's so much there, because obviously I do MMA 5 on the channel, WMMA 5 on the channel here. But sometimes people might not see that. Obviously, if they're just a WMMA 5 fan or they're a mixed martial arts fan, if they're not in that kind of realm or circle, they probably won't be able to see this compared to what a lot of people, if you're involved in TW, if you're a fan of just the TW content of stuff, you're just maybe have never seen this before. So this is why I was not very shocked and surprised by the interface, because it's kind of the same thing. We'll look back at this real quick, and we're just going to start this as, here we go. As you can see, obviously kind of the same gimmick here. It's somewhat the same, but it's just obviously very vertical. This is much more clean, though. I will say this. This is a very much clean, more impactful, the events are here, everything's very vertical. Where you look at here, it's kind of vertical, but it's off over here. This big ass square probably shouldn't be there. Bring that down. That's kind of what I was saying in the live stream. But this is just more of a compacted, now that I've played the game more, because that beta live stream was literally me downloading the beta and loading it up, playing it for the first time. Really have no incline on what I was really doing and whatnot. Now I've kind of fucked around. I've done some things. I've talked to people about this game. It's kind of really released the beta, because obviously the beta is not a finished product, of course, but really the first beta, it was more like an alpha more than a beta, in my opinion. There's a lot of things that are just how did this get to this stage of the beta? But that's just, it is what it is. People are not really impactful of what was going on throughout the really the beta testers. Really, I put that on the beta testers' fault, the fact that how bad the beta was at first. But for this, the delay, obviously, the delay being impactful for me really isn't a huge impact, because really for the channel, for TW 2020, really I wait for mods. That's a big thing for me. I don't like converting mods from 16 to 20 and just using the converter. I hate doing that. Same thing with TW 2016. I wasn't someone who used the 2013 database and just converted it in the converter settings and just played it on that. I like playing on mods that are tested and well used and are used for what the game is. But for that, once, with TW 2020 on the channel, the big thing for me, what I want to do is continue the All Japan series. I want to continue that on TW 2020. Thing is I want to have a mod of 1992 around the time when the Sour beats Jumbo, which is kind of like the summer of '92, spring, summer, around that time. Any time around there would be great. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. If that doesn't come around, I'll probably just make one myself at that point. But, I could also convert at that point, really convert and really test it out using that, but I really don't want to. But that's just kind of the big thing of looking for that. As far as, and the other big TEW 2020 plan is like last year, like the last game TEW 2016, I'm going to do a poll and polling of what universe I'm going to use, what mod I'm going to use. As, like the WCW series, that's how the WCW series got started. I just took a poll of, like, all the kind of really mods that I liked and what I liked using, and just put a poll on and just said, hey, which database should I use for my next TEW series? And 1997, the Montreal Aftermath was chosen, was voted in by you wonderful people, and that's how that started and really caused the channel to really rise. But the last kind of thing I want to talk about the TEW 2020, what I'm going to do, because obviously that's going to take a while. I'm going to wait for some mods to be made, I'm going to wait for a lot of shit to develop in the meantime. So, with that being said, last year, fucking TEW 2016, like last time, I did the first series I ever did was a local to global using the Cornellverse, the C-verse, as obviously that's not really a big draw in the TEW tuber world. I don't really care. It's fun for me. It's fun to do, and it's something to pass the time till I wait for some mods to get made and get tested and get to the point where they're stable and structurally perfect for what I want to use on the TEW. Going forward in TEW 2020, using in my series and whatnot. So, we have made a logo to global right here. A Kyoki Press. It is a junior deathmatch style company using the C-verse, as this is just kind of like a prequel, if you will, to that series being started. I'm going to upload this around 2 hours after this video is uploaded, if that makes any sense. So this is going to be uploaded, then a couple hours later it's going to be the episode 1 of the Kyoki Puro Local to Global series using, well, I guess it's not even Local to Global anymore. It's fucking, what's it now? I think it's insignificant to fucking, hold on. Hold on, and they've changed this as well. It's insignificant to Titanic now. Jesus Christ. This series, it's still going to be Local to Global. I don't give a fuck. Local to Global is even back in, like, EWR. That's just, is what it is. So this is what we're going to do for fucking TEW 2020, our first series on the channel. It's going to be this. For how long? Who knows? I think the last one, I did about 20-25 episodes, and just kind of, once the WCW series really started and became really popular, that's kind of when this took a back seat. That's probably going to be the same thing here. Once the mods get put in, and once everyone starts, once the actual release date comes around and all that, that's going to be great to see. And then I'll, upload another video where I'll explain the kind of, I'll run through what's going on with the poll and whatnot, and I'll have a link to the poll, and I'll post it everywhere for everyone to fucking vote on and whatnot. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. But thank you all, wonderful people, because I want to say this just real quick before we end this. I'm gonna get TEW 2020 because of you wonderful people. By what I mean by that is not just because I would buy it because I record stuff here on YouTube now. I mean, I probably wouldn't get it, honestly. TEW 2020, there's a lot of changes that I don't like, so I probably wait out. But for this, I'm getting it because it's going to be free. Coming up, probably in next month, around the time this game is released, because when I get my YouTube revenue checks, they're usually within the quarter, like halfway through the month, so like the 15th or the 12th, around that time. 12th or 15th, around that time. I'm going to be getting a check from Google from my ads and my AdSense account, which is when you guys click on videos and their ads, I'm getting money, and I'm getting revenue from it, which I don't really care for the revenue. There's a lot of videos that I've done that don't have that, like the Not So Great Times in New Japan. I'm trying to think what else. The Los Gringos Locos video. So actually, the Onita video is, and that one too, the Onita video. So those, like the real big channels, but the TEW content obviously has that, all the, everything is pretty much monetized from that, which is, I don't really care. It's not a big thing, money from YouTube. It's a great little bonus. It's not my main drive. My main drive is to create and have fun and to interact with people and showcase my and just be a creative outlet. That's always been my thing with YouTube. It's a creative outlet. It's not like a job or any type of income. But when there's times when I do, when I get the money from it, when I get some type of revenue from it, it is a huge, bonus. And with that money, I'm gonna be able to get it for free, pretty much. Because it's from you guys watching throughout the years. Because I've made, I don't want to say how much I've made, but this is my second check I've gotten, and I'll just say there is a cap for how much you get before you get a check. I'm not going to say how much, but that is, and it's enough to buy the game, no problem, and that's going to be $35, what the fuck, but nonetheless, I just wanted to thank all you wonderful people, because if it's not for you guys, would I have gotten this game? Probably not. Because right now, or at least I would have waited. I would have definitely waited until the mods came out and once I bought it. But now, thanks to you wonderful people, I'll be getting a day one, no problem. And that's crazy to me. It's insane that it's at that level where that can happen. And it's all because of you wonderful people. So I just want to thank you so very much for supporting the channel over the years. It's been 4 years now. Really, since this channel's become a real, I want to say the thing, but it has become a thing for the years now, for being a creative outlet, for doing things that maybe I've just creatively, I'm just like, I want to do this, and it's a success, like the Not So Great Times in New Japan, even though that video, kind of hate it. It's not what I wanted. I uploaded the wrong video format, and it's shitty quality, but that's nonetheless, it's still something that I was just like, I want to talk about mid-90s, or mid-2000s New Japan. I just want to talk about that, and I talked about it, and people were very well-respective of it, well admired of it, and then thought it was like, man, this kid, he's got some potential doing some of this stuff, and it came from the, Onita stuff, and the Los Gringos Local stuff, and even this, the Marvelous retrospective series, which is going to be coming back once the copyright strikes come out, and stuff like that. When it's just I get to do fun, creative things, plus doing this TEW 2016 and now TEW 2020 content. I just wanted to thank you all. I know I've rambled a lot, but I'm at a loss for words. I can't describe how grateful I am for you wonderful people. You don't know me from Adam. I came kind of out of nowhere. I just started the TEW 2016 content with like 50 subscribers on my channel, and from the really the end of that year of 2016, I had close to 700, I think, maybe even less, maybe 300, something around that time, 300 to 700 around that time, and it just was like, it was crazy then, and to now, I've got 2,000 and some. It's crazy. It's just, I can't believe it. And it's all thanks to you wonderful people. So I just, again, thank you very much. As if you were hyped, if you're interested for the local to global series of the Cornellverse, it will be coming in the, next couple of hours. You'll be seeing the intro episode of that. For the poll and for the 1992, when we start back up with All Japan, that's just going to be a timetable thing. The actual poll will probably be released around the time the game's released, since there's going to be a lot of time for people to work on mods and get them ready for the release of the games. That's going to be a lot of fun, but for the 1992 All Japan series, we'll see on this. For the Koki Pro Wrest Local to Global series, it's going to be releasing every Thursday. And then for the All Japan series is going to continue the same time. Same thing with the WMMA 5 series. That's going to be the same time, Mondays. It's always going to be released there. I like having a schedule now. That's kind of a big thing with me that I've changed from TEW 2016 to TEW 2020 is the changing of schedules to where I like having weekly releases of something. It keeps me, focused and energized, and keeps me like it's an actual job. It kind of helps me out to keep a schedule going. And you can hear someone wants to come into the room, so I've shut the door. I think that's my go-to. That's gotta bring it home, brother. So thank you all, as we will catch you guys for this, the Hyoki Pro Wrestling Local to Global series. Take care, everyone.